Tonight on 10 at 10, booked and released. A former leader in education surrenders to law enforcement on drug charges. How the arrest affects a potential job offer.
Plus, Austin issues. What offensive message was plastered all over businesses in the state capital of Texas?
And teaching them young. At what grade level is a local district warning students about the dangers of the internet? Abilene's local news starts now.
From Abilene's first television station, your news in your community. This is KRBC, Abilene's local news at 10.
Good evening, I'm Randy Turner.
And I'm Dane Murray. Thanks for joining us for KRBC's 10 at 10, where you get your top stories and tomorrow's forecast all in the first 10 minutes.
Our top story tonight, from the top of a school district's ladder to a surrender on drug charges.
A mugshot has put the former Abilene School District superintendent out of the running for a potential job. Dr. Heath Burns is no longer a candidate for the superintendent position at Blooming Grove ISD, located in Central Texas. The announcement came hours after Dr. Burns turned himself into law enforcement on drug charges. Dr. Burns is charged with third-degree felony possession of a controlled substance. He was booked into the Taylor County Jail and was released after posting a $5,000 bond. According to the arrest warrant, a DPS investigator reported that Dr. Burns fraudulently obtained prescriptions for over 3,400 pain pills from January through July of 2014. KRBC's Ariana Lubelli has been following the allegations surrounding Dr. Burns and AISD. She delves deeper into the investigation and timelines from his resignation to arrest.
Several allegations of criminal acts have surrounded Dr. Burns since December, when the arrest of former Dean of Holland Medical High School Michael Trook occurred, and then in January, after a second alleged student-teacher relationship within AISD with the arrest of Breanne Brown.
I have a personnel complaint related to the performance of Dr. Heath Burns.
But neither put him in jail today. The former superintendent turned himself in on a third-degree felony prescription fraud. However, police say he could be facing other charges. Police Chief Stan Stanridge released a statement today saying, quote, "The police department's investigation of Dr. Burns continues and contains several charges, including misdemeanor and felony allegations. This investigation will likely be completed in the coming weeks and presented to the district attorney for consideration of charges." Now, after Dr. Burns' resignation here in AISD, he became top candidate for a superintendent position in Blooming Grove, Texas. However, locals here in Abilene took to social media warning people in that area about Dr. Burns' alleged history.
One was concerned about the fact that there was an ongoing investigation. Another one expressed concern about the severance package that Dr. Burns was granted of, I believe, $407,000. Another was concerned about the fact that there had already been 2 arrests from personnel in the Abilene ISD and Dr. Burns coming to this area.
That's according to a reporter we spoke with in Blooming Grove, Texas last week. However, after Burns' arrest today, the Blooming Grove School District has withdrawn Dr. Burns from consideration for the position, saying, quote, "Blooming Grove ISD Board of Trustees and Dr. Heath Burns have reached a mutual agreement for him to withdraw as the lone finalist for the superintendent position." And as for the Abilene ISD School Board, they responded to the news by saying they feel sorry for Dr. Burns.
Really sad for Dr. Burns and his family. I know there's going to be a lot of tension and a lot of problems for them going on.
As for the charges that Dr. Burns could potentially be facing in the future, police say they're still investigating. Reporting in Abilene, Ariana Lubelli, KRBC News.
All right, Ariana, thank you very much. We also asked Laird about how Abilene board members are going through the process of selecting a new superintendent for AISD and how they will avoid selecting a candidate with criminal allegations.
Certainly, if we know they're under a criminal investigation or has a background, we are likely not to recruit them. But if in our due diligence and our looking at the finalist candidate, if we see that there are any problems, we're certainly going to do everything we can to get to the bottom of that.
KRBC and BigCountryHomepage.com has you covered on Dr. Burns' arrests. We also have links to other stories on Dr. Burns, including the full AISD news conference on his resignation as AISD superintendent. The separation agreement between the district and Dr. Burns, also a link to his full application of employment to Blooming Grove ISD, and the Abilene Police Department's response to improper student-teacher relationships within AISD. That's all on our website, bigcountryhomepage.com.
Switching gears now to weather, Randy, tomorrow is the first day of spring.
Yes, it is.
Will the weather reflect that?
It will not.
Okay, why
Feel
is that?
more like the first day of fall tomorrow.
Really?
Felt like spring today,
That's
but
right.
tomorrow about 20 degrees cooler than it was today. Tonight on 3D Live Radar, we do have some light showers that are getting a little heavier actually in the past 10 minutes. They are moving mainly through Jones County with rain falling in Hawley and Anson areas right now. The movement of these showers is to the northeast at 20 miles per hour. A couple of heavy showers up there near Throckmorton at this time. Those two moving off to the northeast, and all of this developing along a cold front that's moving south into the big country right now, just north of Abilene. Showers and storms are expected to increase across the big country overnight tonight with the help of this front. Right now here in Abilene, with rain just north of town, we have cloudy skies and still rather warm out there, 71 degrees. The wind is still from the south and southwest at 7 miles per hour with humidity at 63%. Well, tomorrow is the first day of spring. It arrives at 5:45 p.m. Tomorrow morning at the bus stop, expect 50 degrees with showers in the area and chilly. It's definitely jacket weather tomorrow.
In your Texas report, an employee at a bakery in the state capitol got a rude awakening when she returned to work this morning. A sticker reading "exclusively for white people" with an offensive message underneath claiming to be sponsored by the city of Austin was stuck to the front door. These stickers were plastered on the front of a few businesses in the area, but city of Austin officials denied any involvement in a statement. Mayor Steve Adler called it, in part, quote, "an appalling and offensive display of ignorance." Customers who got a clear shot of the message are appalled as well.
I think it's always a bit arrogant of people to make a blanket statement, especially when they don't know who the actual owners are.
While some businesses took a strong stance on the issue, others simply removed the sticker and ignored the message.
Predators are ditching the parks and alleyways to lurk and lure behind smartphones, tablets, and computer screens. They're invading our homes, they're befriending our children, and Abilene ISD is doing everything they can to keep these innocent lives safe online. Internet education starts in elementary school, continues through high school as technology gets more and more involved with the kids' formative years. The good, the bad, and the ugly, only a click away. So programs like this one allow our kids to learn the do's and don'ts of navigating the World Wide Web.
If they ask you about your personal information, don't tell them. And if they try threatening you, tell a parent.
The students are banned from using campus computers until they prove they know how to be safe by taking a course and passing a quiz.
A neighbor's watchful eye helped Abilene police catch 3 juveniles during an attempted burglary. A resident who lives in the 3900 block of Janice Lane was home on her lunch break when she saw 3 males standing in the front yard of the home across the street. She thought they looked suspicious and called police. After a brief foot chase, police were able to apprehend the suspects. The woman says that she feels it was her duty to call 911.
And I've lived in this neighborhood for a long time, and we've been friends, and we always look out for each other like we're supposed to. That's what neighbors are supposed to do. That's what people are supposed to do.
Police arrested 2 of the juveniles on the scene. Another ran for a few blocks but was caught.
Now, your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Randy Turner.
Well, this last day of winter felt like spring, and the first day of spring is going to feel like fall. We're just all messed up right now. Let's go on to the almanac. Abilene's high temperature today reached 80 degrees. We had a low this morning of 56. You see the records for today's date, and we had no rain, or we haven't had so far. We still have a couple of hours to get a little bit measured out there at the Abilene Regional Airport. Maybe that will happen. No grass or weeds in the allergy report today. Tree count was less than yesterday, but still quite a bit in the medium category. It's cottonwood and cedar, the primary problem right now here in Abilene. 3D Live Radar, good to see the rain. It's increasing a little bit, especially here in Jones County, back to Fisher and into part of Nolan County. Looks like raining in Sweetwater, over here towards Albany as well. Got a few storms tracking up through the northern portion of the area. Here's a little bit closer look for you. And as you can see, Sweetwater's right there on I-20, getting some rain at this time. Roby just almost to you. And all of this continuing to move off to the north and east at about 20 miles an hour. Some heavier storms up here off to the northeast of Seymour, it looks like. Quite a bit of activity back out here in the western portion of the South Plains, eastern New Mexico, lightning, even some small hail there. And we've got some bigger storms over here just north of Dallas-Fort Worth around Sanger. Now, down south, if you're traveling to the hill country tomorrow or Saturday, Austin, San Antonio, maybe you're going to South by Southwest. There's a flash flood watch in effect through Saturday at 7 p.m. there. It goes all the way down into the valley and almost all the way to the coast. So heavy rains, 2 to 5 inches in those areas. But not that much here in the big country, though it does look like we'll range from 1/4 to 1/2 inch. But south of Abilene, maybe some heavier amounts than that. Temperatures cooling down in the panhandle behind the front, but you get to Abilene and point south, still upper 60s and low 70s, rather spring-like for sure. Even in the big country, there's a 10-degree temperature spread from the upper 50s, even down to 53 now out in Jayton, to 71 in Coleman, upper 60s, Brownwood as well as Comanche. And the wind, well, it shifted around to the north in Stamford at 26 miles per hour right now. Winds at 21 from the north in Jayton. But notice here in Abilene, they're still from the south at 7. So we've got some north wind bearing down on us. It'll be blowing through Abilene here in the next hour. So few RPM forecast, we'll put it into motion, let you see what the weather should look like at 7 o'clock in the morning. Showers mainly south. More showers off and on during the day on Friday. It stays cloudy all across the area. A little break from the rain Friday night into early Saturday morning. But during the day Saturday, here comes the next wave of rain through the area. Your forecast for tonight, 50 degrees, the cold front, showers, isolated thunderstorms. Some of the storms tonight, not out of the question. They could produce some small hail or some strong and gusty winds and some brief heavy downpours. Not widespread severe or anything like that, but certainly some rumbles of thunder, maybe a little strong storm or two. 60 is your high tomorrow. Spring begins on a cool and wet note across the big country. Here's your forecast for the next 7 days. Well, it's going to be cool the next 2 days, and we have a 50% chance for some showers and storms, and that chance for rain is going to carry into Sunday, but our best chance for some rain the next 2 days. 60 tomorrow, 62 Saturday, warming to 75 on Sunday, and then it's back up to about 80 degrees on Monday.
Wow.
So, good-looking forecast there. Yep, and toward the end of next week, about this time next week, models are suggesting more rain and colder temperatures next weekend. So we'll see if that works out.
You did say.
We're not finished with winter yet.
That's right.
Even though tomorrow's the first day of spring.
You did say that. You're usually right, so we'll see.
Well, I hope so.
Coming up next on 10 at 10, wildflowers are lining local roads to welcome the warm embrace of spring. How many different species of the plants have planted their roots right here in Abilene? Plus, here at KRBC, we're dedicated to keeping our viewers alert, safe, and up to date. Stay tuned to find out how you can win a prize just in time for severe weather season.
And a big step for autism taken here at our neighborhood HEB, how they're making it easier for parents to take their kids with special needs shopping without getting overwhelmed.
You're watching KRBC, Abilene's local news, with Dane Moray and Chief Meteorologist Randy Turner.